Good morning. Good morning. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. It is Thursday, January 21st. January 21st. We are moving right along in this first month of January. Hey, so I am going to be covering today, some of the news that came along with the inauguration yesterday and some of the plans that are in place. Some of the plans that are in place right now to help out buyers and homeowners right now during this time of pandemic. So we want to discuss that. And then also, I'm going to be talking about lenders that lent out the most money over the last few years. Actually, this report that I've got is from 2019, which finally the information came in and they were able to accumulate it and they were able to print it out for us now so we can take a look at it. And it's good to find out who are the most impactful lenders. You wouldn't be surprised at some of the lenders that did the most amount of money loans, but we want to take a look at that. And then I'm going to finish up with some news from the California Association of Realtors. The first part that I'm going to talk about came directly from NAR, and that's the National Association of Realtors. And that's where we get a lot of our news from. Every one of us that has an R next to their name gets a lot of news from the National Association of Realtors and then also the California Association of Realtors, because that's where I'm located out of. And then, of course, we get local news because all we ever talk about, and a lot of the time we emphasize, real estate is local. It is local not only to your state, it's local to your county. It is local to your city. It gets even tighter and local in your neighborhood. So we want to discuss some of that. But I like to start my shows out, and we are doing 3 shows. I like to start out with a little bit of information, but I also want to give some birthday shout outs. And let's see what we've got today. We just got the one birthday, and that is Kimberly Hausman. Kimberly, wishing you a very, very happy birthday. I know Kimberly through our Grow Live Academy, and we're going to talk about that more in just a moment. But the Grow Live Academy, met Kimberly through there. Just a sweetheart of a person and just one of the greatest personalities you're ever going to want to find, see, or listen to. She's terrific. And you can find her on Facebook. But Kimberly, happy birthday to you. And if it's your birthday out there today, and I don't have it listed, we're either not friends on Facebook or you don't want to share your birthday. But happy birthday to you anyway. So we want to wish everyone who's got a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Kimberly, especially you. Okay, I want to take a quick look here. And one of the things that I like to do, and I want to make sure that I get it down there, is talk about some of the groups that we are associated with. And I just want to get it done. Oh, well, StreamYard.com, number one. StreamYard is the company and the platform that we are using. If you would like to make a comment and have your picture out there, you want to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them to use your likeness, your picture. You're just giving them permission to go ahead and do that. We want to make sure that that's done. And then I want to talk about the groups that we are associated with, and that is the Grow Live Academy. Grow Live Academy. Boom. Well, let's turn it like that. Grow Live Academy. And that is a company put together, formed by Ken Walls and his wife, Jill. But that's a Grow Live Academy. And if you want to learn how to do live streams, that's one of the best places to go on the internet. And then we have StreamYard.com. And then I keep in touch with my clients now using Hippo Video. So that's our little commercial break there. So let's get going with this. I'll put my information down there. If you need more information, we'll be glad to get you that. If you would like to go ahead and send us a text, you can do that at 408-439-0766. Or you can go to Coachman, ONRE, at gmail.com. That's Coachman on real estate. So Coachman, ONRE, at gmail.com. And then you can go to one of our various websites and be able to get the information there. So let's get in here. This is some information that's coming in from, like I said, coming in from NAR. It's an article that was actually came out yesterday afternoon. And it starts out with something that we all know. Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th U.S. president on Wednesday, taking the reins in the nation's response to the COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing economic shakeout, a deeply divided country and a host of other challenges. But he's already signaled that several real estate issues are on his administration's to-do list. So we want to address that. The National Association of Realtors applauded Biden's inaugural speech that focused on unifying America and restoring economic strength. America's 1.4 million realtors are as diverse as the nation and the consumers they serve. Charlie Oppler, who is this year's NAR president, said, "I was heartened by President Biden's call for unity. As Americans, we see leaders come and go during our lives, but our nation succeeds only when we unite." So here are some of the real estate issues that we're going to be talking about. Last week, President Biden unveiled a 1.9 million trillion stimulus plan that included several housing proposals, including greater rental assistance and extending the national eviction and foreclosure moratorium until September 30th. Biden's plans call for $25 billion more in rental assistance to help the nation's landlords and $5 billion in homelessness protections. This would be on top of the $25 billion in aid that was proposed last month's $900 billion stimulus package. And you can read more about Biden's $25 billion rental assistance and extending eviction ban. We need to take a look at it. Here's one of the more important things, and this has been done several times in the past. If you are a first-time home buyer and you are looking for help with your down payment, Biden has proposed a down payment tax credit of up to $15,000 that's first-time home buyers could use for their first purchase. Saving for the down payment is often cited as the biggest obstacle for first-time home buyers. A survey by HomeLight, a real estate referral company, found that 55% of more than 1,000 real estate professionals recently surveyed said they were in support of such a tax credit for first-time home buyers. First-time buyer tax credits are not new. President George W. Bush and Barack Obama used them to help buyers purchase their first homes during the Great Recession. So that is from NAR. Now, one of the articles that came out also was about FHA extending the foreclosure eviction moratorium through February. For the fifth time, the Federal Housing Finance Agency is extending single-family home foreclosures and real estate-owned eviction moratoriums on properties backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The agency announced Tuesday the extension runs until February 28th. The moratoriums are in place due to financial impact brought on by COVID-19. The program was originally scheduled to expire in June 2020. The most recent deadline for the program was January 31st. The foreclosure moratorium applies only to single-family mortgages backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The real estate-owned eviction ban applies to properties that have been acquired by Fannie or Freddie through a foreclosure or deed in lieu of foreclosure transaction. To keep our community safe and families in their homes during COVID-19 pandemic, FHFA is extending Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac foreclosure and eviction moratorium, as stated by Mark Calabria. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac also offer loss mitigation programs to borrowers who may be experiencing hardship in making their payments. Qualified borrowers could be eligible for a loan modification or temporary forbearance for up to 12 months. Whether the hardship was caused by COVID-19 or not, the FHFA says the program will remain available even when the COVID-19 forbearance flexibilities end. Last week, the FHA also announced it would continue to allow for alternative appraisals and employment verifications on government-backed loans until February 28th to help prevent settlement delays. So you can go and find more on this at FHFA.gov. Let's get that up real quick. FHFA.gov. So we'll just post that real quickly. So if you are looking for some help and you want to learn more about the programs that are available, go to FHFA.gov and get that information. Now, I want to talk about, they had mentioned forbearance programs. You want to make sure that you understand what you're looking at. You may want to take those programs and whatever has been offered to you to an attorney to look at for you, or at least run it by a CPA so that they can see exactly what's happening. There are going to be many things and many programs available for people that are in trouble right now due to COVID. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac may be saying it doesn't even have to be COVID related, but you need to talk with your lenders and find out for sure. We are not in the same predicament that we were during the Great Recession or Depression, as we were calling what happened during the 2008 to 2011 time period. That was completely different than the market that we're in right now. So do whatever you can to hold on to your homes. Things will turn around. I was very, very experienced in helping people that were in short sale situations. We're not in short sale situations right now for most people, because most people have enough equity in their homes where they can sell their homes without going into bankruptcy, sell their homes without getting the red marks on their credit for doing a short sale. You want to make sure that you do the right things for you and your family. Now, this can be a stressful time, and you need to follow up. You need to check on that. If you are in a position where you are having trouble making your payments, do not walk away from your lender. Talk with your lender. You may not like what they have to say. They may not like what you have to say. but open the dialogue and get that started, because that is one of the most important things that you can do. And you've got to do it. So I had put the link up there for FHFA.gov. Pop it back up there real quick. FHFA.gov. You want to make sure you understand exactly what's going on. And again, get some legal advice. Realtors are not legal advisors. Realtors can help you buy and sell property, but they are not legal advisors. Again, if you get an offer to do a forbearance plan, run it by either an attorney, look up a real estate attorney, or take it to your CPA at the very least. Let them take a look so they can explain to you exactly what's happening, and so that you aren't caught off guard by something. So, wanted to go over and talk about lenders. Now, there are an awful lot of lenders out there, and there are a ton of folks that can give you a hand. And we want to make sure that you are well aware of it. These lenders issued the most mortgages. This is, again, a story coming from NAR, National Association of Realtors. These lenders issued the most mortgages to buyers in 2019, and they will continue to be doing this. Quicken Loans originated the highest number of home purchase loans in 2019. You will now find them as the Rocket Mortgage, backed by Quicken Loans. More than any other lender, according to new analysis from Ascent, a personal finance resource produced by the Motley Fool. Wells Fargo closed loans totaling more than $305 billion in 2019, 73% higher than its nearest competitor. So who is buying the most mortgages, or who is doing the most lending? Wells Fargo. In dollars. Most loans, Quicken Loans. Ascent looked at the top mortgage lenders from 2019 to determine who was originating the most loans, closing the most dollars worth of loans, and completing the highest percentage of their business with minorities and low-income borrowers. So we're going to finish up with that. Of more than 11,000 lending institutions, the top 25 issued 88% of the loans originated in 2019. The largest mortgage providers by purchase originations in 2019 were Quicken Loans. They did 541,000. United Shore Financial Services. United Shore Financial Services, also known as United Wholesale Mortgage, 339,000 loans. Wells Fargo, $232,000 worth of loans, 232,000 loans. Chase, 168,000 loans, and Fairway Independent Mortgage, 147,000 loans. So you want to make sure that you are taking a look at that. The largest mortgage provider by total value of closed conventional loans was Wells Fargo at more than $305 billion, followed by Chase at $177 billion, and Quicken Loans at nearly $146 billion. So we need to take a good look at who we're going to be working with. We know that most loans, big dollar loans, are going to go through Wells Fargo and they're going to go through Chase. But the loans are going to go through other people. You can go to companies like Rocket Mortgage or Quicken Loans. They're going to have several programs for you. There are independent brokers and mortgage companies that will also have various loans. And you get more choices than what Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America are going to offer. So you want to take a look at that. Ascent found that the largest number of purchase originations to minority borrowers was from United Shore Financial Services. United Shore Financial Services, also known as United Wholesale Mortgages. So take a look into them. Wells Fargo, Quicken Loans, Bank of America, and Fairway Independent Mortgage. You want to take a look at those. The largest number of purchase originations to low or moderate borrowers, low or moderate income borrowers, those who earn less than 80% of the estimated current area's median family income, were by United Shore Financial Services. Again, that is also known as United Wholesale Mortgage, Quicken Loans, and Fairway Independent Mortgage. So those are companies that you can take a look at, and you can find this if you want to look up the largest mortgage providers in the U.S., and it's under the Ascent. The Ascent. And this was from December 28, 2020. So you can take a look and find out, hey, who are the biggest providers? Who is the right company for me to work with? There's some great information there. Now, I'm going to take a look at a car article that just came out. And it's a one-page brief summary of what's going on. But one of the things it's saying that large numbers of Californians are still losing jobs. More than 200,000 workers filed initial unemployment claims last week. This is the fifth of 6 weeks where more than 200,000 individuals filed for unemployment. This continues to increase and create the financial distress for many families across the state. No surprise there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the housing demands. Although California, and I'm just going to read directly from this article from the California Association of Realtors. Although the housing markets in California is finally seeing some seasonal slowing that is typical during the winter, the pace of home sales remains strong relative to the same period in 2020. Interest rates rose from their all-time low levels last week, and though that has yet to diminish buyer demand, the pace of growth has begun to cool recently. I will say that there are certain areas that it will cool, but at this point in Santa Clara County, we have not cooled off. Basically, every home that we put on the market is purchased within 30 days. Now, the homes that aren't purchased, number one, aren't priced right. Number two, in a condition where you're asking too much money. So again, it will come back to the pricing. So take a good look at that. If a home's on the market for more than 3 weeks in Santa Clara County, there's a problem. Either it's overpriced for the area that it's in, or it's overpriced for the conditions that it's in. And after a month on the market, it's a good time to really do some solid negotiating. And we would be glad to help you with that in Santa Clara County, throughout the Bay Area. The market is expecting to remain strong in 2021 as the economy starts to open back up and the rates remain relatively low by historical standards, recent increases notwithstanding. The first 2 weeks in 2021, we have seen an awful lot of sales. They are up from what we would normally see at this period. Pending sales resume upward trend. So once a home is on the market and once an offer has been accepted, it goes pending. And so those pending, the rate of pendings is still increasing. So we're seeing as soon as a home gets put on the market, it goes contingent or pending, and that's increasing. We're not seeing a real slowdown here in the Bay Area, so we want to make sure. So here's the news about interest rates, and I'll just read this directly. Interest rates rise and may rise more, but not much more. After falling back to an all-time low of 2.65% the previous week, mortgage rates rose to 2.79 last week. That marks a significant increase, and if the 10-year Treasury, which has risen nearly 60 basis points in the past 6 months, is any guide, and it typically is, mortgage rates could easily rise by as much as 30 to 40 more basis points. However, that would leave rates near 3.1, 3.2. So if we're at 2.79, they can raise up 0.3 to 0.4. So we are looking at possibly going to 3.1 or 3.2. And we want to take a look at it. We may have seen the lowest rates we're going to have that are going to be available to us. But if you are still looking to refinance, if you are still looking to purchase, you want to go out and try and do that now while the rates are at their lowest. We don't believe that they're going to go much higher, but nobody has a crystal ball and nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. We got to make sure that we're following this. Buyer demand's rising, but at a slower pace. So we have seen buyers out there looking to buy basically every home that goes onto the market. We know that there is pent-up demand. We know that not everyone in the Silicon Valley or in Santa Clara County can get the home that they want, because we are still seeing bidding wars around here. Just was part of a team meeting yesterday, and we had people that had 20 to 30 to 40 offers coming in on a home. The home is priced right. There's an awful lot of people that want to buy it. And there's those communities that people want to be in, whether you are in Los Altos, Mountain View, Cupertino, parts of Santa Clara, Willow Glen, different areas within San Jose, Almaden area. There are people that want to get into those areas. And there's still opportunities out there, but know that you may not get the first home on your list, because if you are looking at it, certainly there are other people that are looking at it. So we want to make sure of that. And make sure, and this is one of the things, and I'm going to close with this. This is one of the things that I tell everybody, especially my first-time home buyer friends. The first thing that you need to do is talk with your banker, your lender of choice, whether it's an institutional lender, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of the West, or if it's going to a mortgage broker. That you need to get that done ahead of time so you know exactly where you stand to go out and be able to put an appropriate offer in on something that you can afford. You don't want to be out there looking at a $1.5 million home and only be able to afford $1 million. You want to know exactly what you can do. And that is always my biggest tip. Make sure that you talk with the mortgage lender first thing before you do anything. Well, that is today's show, and apparently my dog is saying show over. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you. We are going to start having more interviews again fairly soon, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. Goodbye.